Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing? Uh, Hello and welcome to Sunday Chat. As always, I'm here and you guys are there. We need to get on it because there's loads of people commenting. Before I do, um, now the storm that we've got coming over, which is Franklin, I do believe its name is. There's a specific way to come up with their names. It's going on right now and it sounds horrendous. I don't know if you can actually hear it, but you can hear the rain and the wind. The storm we had on Friday decided to, it basically said you don't need a garden, just destroyed all the fences, the whole garden. The only thing that's still standing is our gazebo and the decking. Everything else has just been destroyed. And I think it's on another redesign. It sounds like it anyway. But if the power goes and it all goes black, you know why. It's not me. It's this storm, and yeah, we knew it was coming. So yeah, I can hear it. It sounds nasty out there. So if you're out or it's near you, stay safe. So Horlicks, hello and welcome to you for the Sunday. Hi Jay, how's everything going? It's good to see you, mate. It's the same here as well. I don't think it's snowing. Because I know they said it was going to snow, but yeah, it sounds like the end of the world. It sounds like Friday, and that was bad. But yeah, it's very, very bad out there. Hi Burgers, how's it going? Long time no see. Yep, it's nice to see you here. Dino's Universe, hi, how is it going? And D, thank you for coming along. Crafty Chris, thank you for joining us. And Mark, as always, a pleasure to see you. That was obviously the wife. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, if the power does go, it's not my fault. Hi, Anthony, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. We're having an orange warning for tomorrow. We had one yesterday. Tomorrow might go red. Yeah, I've never known to have a red weather warning for where we are, but that was on Friday. We've got a yellow weather warning, which is going on right now, but it sounds just as bad as it did on Friday. So, yeah. Hi, Dave. How's it going? We saw that. We also had a red 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Well, it's really bad out there. I can hear it now. It's going. If you can hear it, you'll know. If you're living in there and you can hear it, because we're on the other side of the M25, so we really don't get a lot of bad weather. We've got it in heaps at the moment. Sorry, yes. Hi Barry, how's it going? Dave as well. Thanks for joining us. John's Models, evening. Yep, still no word on the Hogwarts Express, but as far as we know, it's still coming. So we don't name our storms. There are not enough names in the world for that. Yeah. Hi Alex, how's it going? Geordie Dave, hiya. Same here in Eastbourne, and it's all kicking off. My lights are flickering. Yeah, we had all that on Friday. We touch wood. We haven't had that yet. But if it all goes, you know why. And you really don't know what it's like when power goes. The kids don't understand. But there's no light and no internet, no nothing. So yeah, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Hi Peter, how's it going? Hi Ian. Yep, snow up there. Nice. I know you've had some like blizzard conditions, but yeah, it sounds absolutely crazy out there, Jay. It really, really does. It sounds mad. My postman opened my shed during the bad weather and put a parcel inside. Bad news was it didn't close the door, so the Enterprise went down and smashed. So I've been, oh no. Well, Eagle Moss, they have their faults, but they do get replacements sent out to you. But I think their replacements come with the next issue. Don't know why they do that, but I know they do get replacements. I've had stuff before replaced from them, so. Yeah, D there, evening to both of you. Yes, the electric goes off, just live in the doll's house. Yeah, I don't think I'd get my fat arse in there, I don't think. Because I would. We've got a we've got a bearded dragon, and obviously the heating light goes off around this time, but it's still very warm in there, so I might have to climb in with her. Likewise, I've got a torch on my phone and my tablet, so I'm all right there. But it's the kids; they don't understand. I like the fact, right? My daughter said, "Oh, if we have a power cut," she goes, "It's all right if we have a power cut. I can just play my Xbox. It's like that runs on power." And then she goes, "Oh, well, it's okay. I I can what was it? I can't remember now. That was it. If the internet goes, we lose the sky and all that." She goes, "That's all right. We can watch DVDs." Well, she didn't understand, lover. But yeah, our windows are rattling, but the is doing well, so my animals are happy. Yep. Evening all. How's it going? How's it going there? So, if you haven't seen already, about 4 or 5 hours ago, someone sent me an image of a part work test that's actually being tested at the moment in France. So it looked really good. What I normally do is I'll get these pictures and then I'll have to verify them with a few other people just to make sure that I'm giving you the right information and that I've seen it and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I just posted it. So about an hour ago, about an hour and a half ago actually, I posted it, or probably longer than that actually. So Hachette are now testing in France the 1:2 scale, so half scale Batman. So it's the same height as the Terminator, but this time it's Batman. And this seems now to be a little theme that they've got going on. So you get your cars, and I think the Terminator did very, very well, and the Alien's done very, very well. So I believe now that they're going to start producing more of these figures going along. I might pick this one up, but I probably won't pick this one up from France. I will wait until it comes to the UK. It most definitely will at some point. But like I've said many times, I need at least one or two of my builds now finished before I start anything else. Because it's not just money or stuff like that, it's space. Because when you're building these things, there are parts all over the place, and it's finding places to put them. And even if I had a desk, it would be full with all the. But I've got half built Exo one upstairs. My Enterprise is down in the tub down there. I've just got me. I've just started. Where is it? I've just started this back up again, which is absolutely really nice, I've got to say. The Dodge Charger, which I'm picking up from the newsagents. So that's already a hefty size, but I think over the next couple of issues, it obviously gets the base part, so it's going to be really big. So yeah, we have to start thinking about sorting something out. Now, I will do the Hogwarts Express when that comes out over here. So that'll be more room. We are doing the Disney Dollhouse, and that takes up a lot of room as well. So it looks good, and I'll keep everyone posted on the progress of it if it comes out and it's live, and issue 2, 3, and 4 and stuff like that. So keep an eye on the social media channels, and patrons will get all that anyway. So, but it looks really good. I've got to say, it looks like it's going to have die-cast framing for the body, and I don't know how the suit is going to be. I don't know whether they're going to rubber it like they have with the Alien build. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. But it comes with a lot of accessories, and it comes with a base as well, which I do believe is like a top of a building, and you can have him posed on that with one leg and all that sort of stuff. It looks quite good, I've got to say. But I'll keep everyone posted on that. Thanks, Kev. The train may be late, but it will be welcome when it arrives. Yep, just like any other train, I suppose. Yeah, we're just happy to see it turn up. It'll be a bad night if it goes as the youngest is scared of the dark. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping it doesn't. It doesn't, but yeah. Yes, you heard that right, John. The Batman. 90 centimeters. I think that was the base. I'm not too sure, but it's 1:2 scale. 90 centimeters puts it a little bit smaller than the Terminator, I do believe. Uh, yes, it's just under a meter. I'm not too sure. I'll have to figure out the proper measurements, but it says 90 centimeters on the thing. I've got a funny feeling that was the base because it does say 1:2 scale. So, and I think Batman's about 6'1", 6. I don't think he's very small. So, and yeah, comes with a cape, comes with his gadget gun and his belt and all that. It looks really, really cool. And I think you'll be able to remove the helmet because issue 1 comes with the helmet as a whole piece. So yeah, it looks good. It does look good. No rattling. What figures are they bringing out for the Root Master? I don't know. Now, I obviously they were offered with Hachette's build. They were part of the build, so you get, I think it was 120 issues or 130. I can't remember. That was a long time ago, and some issues just had the figures in. Agora have chosen not to do the figures, but release them, and you can buy them if you want separately. You obviously get the driver and the conductor, and I think you get, it's been a while now, I haven't got it here to look, but you get a kid, an old lady, who's got the football flag, I do believe. Is he a football fan, is he? Yeah. The old lady, the young kid, the young girl, and the man with the glasses. Oh, and the other young girl who's holding the post things you can have her walk in. So there's 6, 7, 8 characters through Hachette. I don't know what Agora's doing with that, but what I heard was that they were going to offer that as part of the build at the end, extra if you wanted it, because I know when it first came out, a lot of people didn't want the figures, but collected the issue anyway. And I know a lot of people said that they would have preferred it without the figures. It meant the build would have been smaller, number wise. I enjoyed the figures, and they went on the bus, and that does really well. Actually, I'm missing one person, the smoking man, as well. Yeah, so there's 9. Yeah, 9, 10. Someone on here will definitely know. I'm sure Mark will be able to tell you. Yep. Spoken of space, I've got an appointment this week, moving in May. Nice one. That's really cool. That's nice to hear. Glad I didn't do the Eddie Stobart. There is no value for money in my eyes. Same as the Iron Man. Yeah. There's no value in any part work. I remember when the Terminator had just finished, and people were trying to sell them straight away. I think I actually saw one go for £500. That is more than half of what it's worth. I think you can actually. I think the Root Master buses actually is another thing. I've seen the Root Master buses go for about 200 quid, fully built, working, everything now. I saw one not long ago at an auction house that sold for £100. That is ridiculous considering the amount of money goes into these things. But yeah, I've seen the Root Master sell for £300, £400. The same for the R2D2, a fully built R2D2 from D'Agostini, the original release. I think you could easily pick up for £300 or £400. There's no value in any part work. Obviously, there's value in your eyes and everybody else's. I see value in that, and obviously my part works never sell them. I never sell them. They're all here still. So, but yeah, if I think if you're doing this for value, if you're doing this to think you're going to make money, you need to get out quick, because you won't. And that is really the starking truth. Really, it's the truth of the builds. And I know a lot of people are shocked by that, but it's just the way it is. You've got to think these are mass produced, and the only people building them are the people that really want them. So it's really hard to sell them. It's really hard to ship them. So that also puts value down as well. But yeah, the Eddie Stobart trucks, all right. I think it looks really good. I've been following Jay's channel. It looks good. It looks like the Route Master was, where you get little bits every now and then. I remember doing the engine over many issues, and then you had some issues with the bigger parts. It's the same with everything else. You get your little parts. It builds up over time, and you kind of go, that isn't a lot. But then once you start adding these parts, it starts building up, and you kind of go, okay. But yeah, I like your tattoo. Oh, thank you very much. That one, yeah, my Decepticon one. I've also got some on my neck. I don't know if you can see that on my neck as well. But my signal is just gone. Now, is the volume good? The signal's dropping out and coming back. So this happened the other day when I was on it. Right, okay. Give me a second. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So I had this trouble. Thank you for that. Yeah, I had this trouble the other day when I was doing my wrestling podcast with Dan, and it was through the storm, and it was on a Friday. It was through the storm, and excuse me, hang on a second, and I'm using the Wi-Fi, and obviously I'm using my phone just because the camera's a little bit better and it's easier to set up. But what happens is when my Wi-Fi goes, it switches to 4G. When it does that, it does something to the volume. I don't know why. It just does something to the volume, but obviously I find out I can just come back in and out. So I do apologise if that keeps happening. Batman and Iron Man will look great together. Well out of scale though. I've got to add, John, they'll be massively out of scale. So Iron Man, it's about that big, and I think the Batman is going to be right up here because it's 1:2 scale. But I will find out more information tomorrow about all that, and I'll let everybody know. Tell me about it not having space. Just assemble 30 issues of Lycan Bus, which is basically a rolling chassis of 90 centimeters. I have nowhere to put it where it's safe. Yeah, it's one of the big things. When I always say there are certain rules I go with when I do part works, and that is money, time, interest, and space. So you have to look at all of those things if I do a part work. So one, I have to make sure that I can budget to do this right to the end. Two, I have to think of space. So firstly is I have to take the measurements and go, where is this going to sit? Where is this going to be going while I'm building it as well? Interest. So I have to be interested in the build before I do it. There is no point in doing a part work if you've got no interest, because you will lose interest with it, obviously. You won't know as much. And there is a few people, I've got to say, that just do part works for the sake of it. I don't get that. You have to have an interest in it. But yeah, I follow all these little rules just to make sure it's all kosher. But yeah, I got to sell my Route Master. Sadly, has no space. Yeah, I remember that, Jay. Yeah. But you never know, when you move, you might have some more space. Like I said, there's always ones coming up. I think Dave Say's got 4 or 5 now, isn't he? I know he's building one for Agora, and he's also doing a sort of, is it a redesigner one, isn't he? He's doing one in a different levy, and he's also building doing a strip down of one, isn't he, that he's rebuilding. So he's going to have a proper little fleet of Route Masters, which is really cool. But yeah, he's got to have the space for that, surely. This is the last part work I'm doing, unless a certain aircraft carrier is released. You never know. You never know. They do an aircraft carrier in Japan, and you can actually get it here. I've sent the link up before. I think I've put the link up before for that. But yeah, you can actually order that from the UK and get it posted here, just like you can with the French ones. But there is an aircraft carrier part work in Japan. Yeah, it has a panel that comes out at the side, so you can see the aeroplanes and the helicopters inside the deck underneath. And there's also a little working lift that goes up and down with one of them on. It's all very cool. Yeah, that was when the sound went. Yeah. Only beef ready Starbuck, it's fragile and easily breaks. Yeah, I saw that with it was the gear stick, isn't it? The little red button on the gear stick. Or is it the handbrake? Yeah. There was bits like that with the Brutemaster. I remember the spark plugs. There was a few bits like that happened. And that happened as well on the well, it's really happened on most of the car builds. I think something little's come off it, and I've gone, nah. You got to think when it's under the engine or tucked away, it's less noticeable. But it's happened. It's happened. So yeah, I think the only time they can go up in price is when older models that cannot be brought anywhere, but not that much. Yeah, yeah. So some models can fetch a higher price. I think one of them at the moment that can fetch a fair bit is I think it's the Aston Martin from Eagle Moss. But the problem with that is a lot of them now, when they stop them, some companies, especially Hachette, other companies pick them up, and it means they just re-release them. But also as well, you've got to think that, you know, being honest in that the part work market is very small. It's a very niche market. And lots of people, I still come across people nowadays who have never done or heard of a part work, seen them in the news agents, seen them on TV, but don't really know them. My Terminator is a prime example. I have friends around that, and they go, oh my God, where'd you get that? I say, it was a part work. What's that? When you get the magazines each week from the news agents. Oh, right. I didn't know about that. Still now. So, but yes, yeah, there are some exclusives. There are some that do, but I think with a lot of re-releases now, it's less likely to happen. And a lot of companies now are starting to keep the sort of part work and then just release, a bit like Model Space was doing. So they release a part work and then they just keep it there forever, and you can buy it whenever you like. And I think that's what's happening with Agora. Hachette, different story. Once that comes out, they never do it again. Eagle Moss used to be like that as well, but now they've also started keeping their part works alive effectively. So yeah, I know what you mean. Don't apologise. It happens. Yeah, yeah, it does. The sound, the weather. I can't control the weather. If I could, it would be sunny. Once my is assembled, it has its space to go, but right now I have to keep it somewhere else. Yeah, well, I've been there. I do have the interest in many levels. We grow up with these buses in Hungary. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's certain things in certain areas, like the Eddie Stobart truck. I think it's a hard sell in other countries, just because lots of people don't know who Eddie Stobart is, even though it's a big haulier company here, and it does have a sort of a worldwide reach, but it's not a big reach, if you know what I mean. It's like the Route Master. Once again, it's a global icon, but I think it's harder to sell it on elsewhere. But then again, if you buy an older part work model, you're screwed if there's an issue with it. Yeah, exactly. This is one of the other points that I go across as well. Is one of the things I always say is, if a part work comes out, you have to get it there and then. Otherwise, you incur problems later on. Ask Mark Mods. He's had problems with his DeLorean, getting issues from Eagle Moss. Now that is probably due to the fact that Eagle Moss don't have that issue in, obviously, but it's because Mark did it later on, so he's having difficulty getting issues because they run out of certain issues. It's just the way these companies work. And the same thing happened at Model Space as well, where they say, oh, we've got pack 7, but not pack, you're on pack 5. They can't send you pack 6 because they haven't got it, but they've got pack 7. And then you have to wait because you can't do any more after that. But yeah, if you do see a part work, my advice would be to do it as it comes out straight away. Otherwise, you do incur problems down the road later on. It's not the model's fault or the person trying to build it. It's the company's fault for not stocking those issues in. But then again, I also see it from the company point of view as well. So say if they order 10 issues, for instance, 10 issues of issue 10, 10 issues of issue 9 and 8 and so on, and then someone rings up and says, oh, my issue 10 is broken, they have to send one from that pile, but they've still got 10 issues of the other ones. So once that one gets low, it means they've run out of that one and they have to order more in, but they've got stock of everything else. When they bring it first out, you're straight off the top pile, they have enough in. But yeah, it's just the way it goes. I've never heard a part work until I saw Adam, Steve and Wayne do the Ecto. Now ads are physically pressing it. Yeah. It's for me, it's still it's getting more popular, and there are more part work companies out there now than there was when I first started them, and there's more choice, which is really good. But it's still a very, very niche market. A very niche market. There's a lot of negativity in it. That comes down a lot to the companies, but also due to the fact a lot of people pick these up on a test run and don't realize it's a test, and then they go, don't bother getting this because you must have seen the comments on Facebook under the promotion of it. Don't bother getting this because they'll send you a couple of issues and you'll never finish it and all of that. Boom, the lights just went. That is normally because they've picked up the test run and then they've stopped it after 4 issues, and then that's what they think it is. But yes, watching Alistair and his engine, it looked well weathered. Yeah, go and check out his channel. It's a very good channel. Watch it. If you don't know who he is, watch Mythbusters. Brilliant series. Really do see it. But yeah, he does a lot of this sort of stuff. He builds a lot of stuff for films and stuff like that. Yeah, he is. Yeah. So there's that. I also thought I'd just show you what I've been doing on the, or what I should say we have been doing on the Disney Dollhouse. That's what we've got, one wall. And yeah, like you get these sort of bits and you go, there's not a lot there. And it's just like any other part work, really. You go from building things like this to getting pieces like that. So it's typical of any part work. Also as well, I've got this through. So this is a trade magazine. So I think I've mentioned it before. Years and years and years and years ago, I used to run my own comic business. And we used to just do sort of trade shows. So we used to do just toy fairs and Comic-Cons. But I've still got my trades account with Amarang, as you can see, and Diamond Select as well, which supply the comic books and most action figures. Amarang do all the high-end niche stuff, so all model kits, all the high sideshow collectibles, hot toys, model cars, everything. And I still get stuff from them. I do still get stuff from them, but I'm thinking, would this be interesting if I ordered stuff in? Would anyone be interested in buying from me? That's what I'm thinking, because it's just so. If you want to know who Amarang is, you can go to their website, amarang.co.uk. Have a look. It's all to do with the trade, so you won't be able to see price and that, but you can have a look, see what they got. But yeah, like they're the leading distributor for models and everything like that. So they do everything really. But they supply. So if you go to a model shop or a comic shop or a toy fair and you see any new stuff there, it's all come from this guy. These are the top UK guys for all that. And as you can see, these are all the models that I can get my hands on. We've got polar lights there, and I don't know. Can you see all that? And they do all of this sort of stuff. And I was just wondering, I've still got my account with them, and I've never really done anything for it, with it for years. And they do like model cars like that. These are 1/18 scale, all of these. And then you got ones like that. And then they do the high-end collectible stuff. So, you know, your Hot Toys, your sideshow stuff. They do all of this. And this is where I get my Hot Toys and other stuff from. And they've started doing Super 7. So if you know what Super 7 figures are. And I was just wondering if anyone would be interested if I could get some. Now, there is a lot on this page. So this whole section I've ordered already. So I've got them coming in. They're going to come to a review soon as they're released. I think the Hulkbuster is due sometime in March. So keep an eye on the channel for that. And then you've got like things like that as well. So you've got, these are Iron Studio. You've got things like, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I can get a hold of all of this, all these model kits. Rat Fink, is that Rat Fink there? We've got subs down here as well. Look. These are all the AMT model kits, you know, it's all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I was thinking if I could get hold of them, would people be willing to buy from me? And I can get, this is just a handful of models. They do so many, but that came down. I thought I'd just show you. But yeah, I can get all that sort of stuff. I've ordered quite a bit from them. When it does turn up, because it's all on pre-order stuff, I will get it in and show everyone. So yeah, for example, released in January in Hungary, but I can only see up to 4 issues on the DXC website, as opposed to RoboCop started in February, and I can already see up to issue 5. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, knows his craft work. Yeah, he does. He really does. Ratfink was big in the States in the 60s. Yeah, I've never seen it before, and they do things like that as well. You can build that as a model with lights. There's all the military kits as well. So I can get hold of all of these, and I will, you know, I'll do a really good deal with them as well, because I won't have the big markups like they do. But that one, that's the one. It's like an Arctic. But yeah. Okay, Dino, thanks for coming, mate. You go off, mate. Go. Everyone, go over to Dino's channel. I do believe he's building the Enterprise. He's a young lad, but he needs all the encouragement, and he's really getting there. So yeah, go over and support him. You'd be interested. Nice one. It's just something that I thought I would do. Now I've got some stuff ordered, and I've ordered extra bits, but I'm not going to tell what they are until they've arrived. But they do have something to do with a artwork that I'm building. Just to give you a little hint. But when I do, I have ordered more than one, so I will be offering them up for sale when they come, and they're not in that book. Also, as well, there's something else as well. Where is it? They do all this as well. All jewellery. They've even got these packs are really nice, I've got to say, and they've got Moon Knight there as well, which I think is going to be massively popular. But they sell all this sort of stuff, and they sell to people like Zavi and HMV and stuff like that. They're, like I said, they're the main distributor for it all. But yeah, I've had my trade account for them for, well, since 2007-8. So yeah, I just use personal use now. But yeah, I was thinking if anyone would be interested, it's something I could probably do and set up. But I just want to see now. Like I said, I've ordered a few extra bits for myself. But the extra I'll be selling, so they'll be up on my Facebook maybe, and I'll let everyone know. But yeah, I can't deal with Savvy, not anymore, so another option would be great. Yes, yeah, I know. Don't get me started on Zavi. They put things up for pre-order, like the Hot Toys. Yeah, they put them up for pre-order and then they cancel them, and that's really naughty. I don't know why they do that, but some of these Hot Toys, if you've never seen a Hot Toy, whew, you're going to be blown away because they're really good. Check out some Facebook pages. There's lots about. But yeah, I'll be doing some as well this year. So yeah, I've got loads of stuff turning up. I'm going big with the Star Trek stuff as well. Obviously, this year they've got all their new toys out and stuff, but they're all at the end of the year, so they'll be coming to the channel, but obviously at the end of the year. But yeah, and obviously got wrestling belts and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm trying to move away from Partworks a little bit, but I keep getting pulled back, don't I? I keep getting pulled back. But yes, and that's what's been happening. But how is everybody else? How's it? Obviously, everyone survived the first storm. Okay, apart from my garden that's been redesigned by, it looks like a tornado. But I haven't acquired a trampoline, which I'm cross about. I thought I could get a free one. I thought I might have been blown one, and then the kids will go out and go, "We've got a trampoline." I'll be like, "Yeah, whatever." But yeah, yes, exactly. You know the phrase. Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in. They do, mate. They really, really do. Because I every year, I think I say it every year, I'm not going to do as many Partworks this year. And my wife's now looking at me going, "What?" I end up with more. I don't know what's happening. What's happening? I'm falling down the rabbit hole here. I keep saying that I'll only do 1 or 2 Partworks this year. I'm already on 5 this year. That's without the other ones. That's without the Hogwarts Express that's going to come out. So that'll be another one. So the House and the Hogwarts is my daughter, my wife's, I should say, and my daughters, because they're big Harry Potter fans and Disney fans. But yes, I do keep getting sucked back in. I've got to say, I've got to slow down. I have slowed down on my vehicles. That's what I've got to say. I really have got no space for anymore. So once the Dodge Charger's done and the XO1, that's it. We need a Lancaster bomber. Do you know what? That was on when they, because Hasher every year they put out an email to everyone on their subscription list, stuff that people would like to build, and I believe that was on it, along with 1960s stock Northern Line tube train. Don't know why they went with that one. I would have preferred, because if you don't know the stock ones, the stock I think the Northern Line, I think it was, or the Central Line, they were horrible for starters, but they're in a beige, like a red beigey colour. I personally would have gone with the white, red, and blue Levy and done like an 80s version. I think they were a bit more. That might have been a bit more popular, but I don't know. But I know the Lancaster Bomber was also on there as well. I just clicked every one. By the way, are you doing the Robocop with the stand or without the stand? With the stand. Yes, it's worth noting actually, Greg. It comes with, if you subscribe and get the premium subscription, you get the light up base, but it still comes with a base, just like with the Iron Man. So it comes with like a basic base. So yes, I will be displaying it on the base. It's just more secure, but it's another thing I was thinking today actually, what sort of stand it's going to be. I was also thinking the same for the Alien, because with the Alien comes with a stand as well. I've got a funny feeling the stand may be similar to the Terminator, but the only other thing I could think it being is a crutch stand. Now, if you don't know what they are, they do waist ones, which are for Hot Toys and things like that, which obviously they part like this and it clamps and stops them moving around. The crutch one is a sort of, it's like shaped like that, and you just sit the figure on it. It's like a hook on its crutch, which stops it. But they're like, you normally get those ones with like the Iron Man hot toys and stuff like that, so it saves from scraping them and stuff. So yeah, I picked my artworks in storage crate. Oh my god, it's so yeah, they do get heavy. This is another thing as well. People don't really realise that the artworks over time they just become massively heavy. The last big part work I did, which had so many, I think the Enterprise isn't going to be as bad because of the way I think it's going, was the Millennium Falcon, which you built the bottom, which had obviously the legs in, also the interior and all the lights, and then you had the exterior of the top. And I don't think you sandwiched them together until issue, I think it was issue 92, 93. But yeah, but till then you have these plastic jigsaw jigs that you sit them on, and it took up so much space, like so much space, and they were heavy. I've got the premium. I need that light up OCP sign. Yeah, do you know what? I think they're all right. I think the standard base is okay. It depends on how you're going to light these sort of things. I always find the lighting features and the talking features on Partworks as the gimmick, and a gimmick it really doesn't need. That's just my personal opinion. Like I've got my Terminator over here. It has been lit up, but the batteries on it are just awful. It just drains them. And I think I've only played around with it a few times. The same with R2D2. That still works. It's still powered, and I still use my phone to operate it because I got it out a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I must have only played that about 6 or 7 times since it's been built. So I always go on things like how often would I light it up. It does look good, but I think the base is really big, which takes up more space. So I'm doing surviving the context snowfall here. Had a bloody prize war for the apartment on Wednesday, but won it in the end. Yeah, I did see you post that on Twitter. Yeah, so I'm glad that you got it in the end. Moving all my delicate stuff is going to be a complete night. I moved house when I was doing the Millennium Falcon, and also I had over 100 Star Trek ship models from Eagle Moss. Yeah, they came on in the car. I held them. Yeah, I held them like this. They weren't going anywhere. No one was touching them. I brought them in the house and I put them down, so I knew where they were. But yeah, I know the stresses. What do you think about the theory I mentioned under the Robocop video about the countries? Yeah. Yeah. So Greg put this up to me that he said that the Robocop actually mentions USA, UK as well. Yeah, it's not out here. Now I know it is coming out, but it's interesting. It is interesting that it already says that in the magazines that you are getting. Yeah, interesting. I know the Robocop is coming out. I don't know time scale wise, but going by the Iron Man, it's normally about more than halfway through when they're in France. I don't know why there's such a delay. Maybe it's to do with the printing of the magazines, because that's all they have to change. They don't have to change the parts. It's only the magazine they have to change. So, but yeah, interesting. So in the magazine, on the list of the countries inside the magazine, it actually has the UK and USA. Interesting, yeah. So it's sort of like we're going to bring it out, but not yet. But I know it's coming. And I think the Alien's definitely coming as well. I don't see that not doing very well. Though look at the Hogwarts Express, done very, very well, but we're still waiting for it. And I think I mentioned this on the last video with in terms of when they do licensing. So they can get the license in France, but if they want to bring it out in another country, they have to get a separate license for it. So they can get the license from well, it's not Universal, is it? It's Disney that own the right for Aliens. So they have to go to Disney, and they go, "Oh, we want to bring this out in France." Okay, and then they can't take that then and go to the UK. They have to then get another license to say, can we bring this out in the UK? And it's the same for everywhere else. So there's a different license everywhere else. So yeah. Kev, you and the family stay safe. Well, I'll see you next week. See you later, D. Thank you for popping by. Great to see you as always. I think they spilt the beans internally just so they didn't have to repaint the English magazine to each country. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think it's to do just with the print of the magazines. Like I said, a lot of these companies. Well, let's take the Enterprise build because I know that one because I've been following it for years. So the Enterprise build, when it came out, I think it was in 2020. I think that's when it came out. When it did come out, it came out that this was a 6-year project before it got released. So they were already designing, thinking about it, coming up with everything 6 years before it come out. And it got me thinking how much process goes in to our part works. Like the processing, I know some of the processing and how that works, but like from imagination to bringing it to us, it's not months or years, it's years and years. I think you'd be very, very surprised on how long, the Terminator, we've got the Terminator here, but I guarantee that was maybe a 2 or 3 year project before it even got released or tested. I know the Enterprise was a 6-year project before it even got mentioned by Eagle Moss. Because I spoke to Ben Robinson years ago about it, and he said it was part works are very, very difficult to do, and it was a 6-year project. And when you think about that, that's like what, 2015, 2016 they've been thinking about doing it, and it only come out in 2020. It's a long time. So just that then made me think, how long does it take then for actual part works to come out? So the Eddie Stobart truck that's come out, for instance, or the Titanic, could have been in the pipeline years and years ago. Why can't they tell us? Tell us. We should know. We should know what you're thinking about and what you're doing. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the Batman, should I say? Because I think they've also tested the Batmobile, haven't they? The Tumbler. So are we going to get an influx of Batman related or DC related stuff this year? Because we know the 1966 Batmobile from the original TV show is due out in May from Eagle Moss. They tested the Tumbler in January or December, around that sort of time in Italy, like they did with the Titanic, which I found out a couple of weeks ago that it was on a test run here, but we didn't know. and now we've just had this other Batman one drop. So yeah, we're just going to get an influx now of these sort of things. I think they're really, like a lot of companies, I think they're really pushing on the cult film. So the cult films and TV shows that we all love and like. Lots of companies have realised there's money in this now and have started producing lots of stuff. Not just, like I said, not just part works, but Hasbro and Mattel and all those sort of things are really hitting that collector's market and thinking, hang on a minute, this is what they're collecting. This is what they're really into. The Alien, the Terminator, Batman, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, maybe because of the new movie. Yeah, it might be, but it's only on a test. Remember, so like I said, a test is normally 12 months down the line, and then it's normally a year or two away from being released over in the UK from France. But France do tend to get them very quickly. So yeah, I have the complete unbuilt Hachette Lancaster, the original one. If you fancy making me a bid on it. Oh, right, okay, you're talking to John there. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a very niche market still. So part works are just very niche. but I think they're trying to branch out now, aren't they? We saw the Transformer one that was done in Italy. Like I said, there are different companies all around the world. Um, I looked at it; it didn't look very good, considering there are better versions out there and stuff, and I've got some of them. Um, but yeah, it's just yeah, I think they're really hitting that cult market. So you can think, I was thinking, we got the Terminator, we've got RoboCop, we've got the Alien. We need a Predator now, don't we? We really do. I was just surprised that it was Batman. They should have gone for the Predator because I think there's a lot they could do with that, especially with like a removable mask, with the laser on the arm, the gun on the shoulder, shall I say, the light on the helmet. Then you've got the holo projector that they could probably do in some capacity on his arm. The countdown. There's quite a lot that I could do with a Predator. It's not just sort of how he looks. He has a lot of the devices on his arm, doesn't he? He's got his shoulder weapon, the lights on his helmet. So, oh yeah, I still think it's going to happen. I still think it's going to happen, and I still think we're going to get Johnny Five from Short Circuit. I still have faith that we'll get that at some point. Now they're hitting all this sort of niche market stuff, but they seem to be hitting a lot of the big franchises, don't they? Star Wars, Star Trek, Alien, Terminator, Batman, obviously. But things like Short Circuit, though it looks really cool, it's a relatively sort of I don't want to say it because I think the film's brilliant, but I think it's small in comparison to the other ones. Even things like Back to the Future and Ghostbusters. So, but I still live in hope that there is some company out there that, yeah, that they will do a. I would prefer a 1-2 scale. There's two actually that I would really really like, and that is a Dalek, but it has to be a proper good scale, like a 1-2 scale, like R2, movable and stuff like that, and then obviously Johnny Five as well. They would, yeah. They also have to think of different markets buying different stuff too. For example, all the ex-Soviet cards. Yeah, exactly. This is why they're not. This is why when I posted up a few weeks ago pictures of every part work that's ever been out, you will find that there are a lot of French cars on there and Soviet cars that we never get released over in the UK because they're specifically for those areas. The problem here in the UK is we're a small market compared to everywhere else. And that is our problem here, is that we're smaller market than everywhere else. So, I'm just repeating myself now. But yeah, so, where we have the kind of say, why don't they bring it out over here sooner? I think it's got something to do with or why don't they bring out these ones over here? One, because I don't think things like Citroen would sell very well, though I do believe they do if they brought them out. But like you say, the Soviet ones as well are very those countries ones, aren't they? I've seen Ladas as well. And I've seen people go, why would hell would anyone build that? Well, because you don't live in that country. But I imagine in that country, they sell very well, which is why I think they should do English cars over here. We get all the other ones, don't we? We get, the Mustangs and things like that, and the Bugatti and all that sort of all the fast cars, but we don't really get a English car. Now I know there was ones tested, which were the Mini Cooper, the 1960s Mini Cooper, the original, and the Morris Minor, which was the van Minor, wasn't it, with the wooden panels. Now I know those were both tested, but have still not come out. But once again, I think those two cars are more for UK markets than they are elsewhere. And I don't think the UK market is big in terms of part works than everywhere else. So, yeah. No, it's not. It's not. I think there's a lot of stuff that go in place before stuff comes out. For example, I buy a London Tube since I lived there, but I think it won't be hot scale over here. Exactly. Same with the Eddie Stobart. I think they could bring the Eddie Stobart truck out if they changed the levy on it, so it wasn't Eddie Stobart. But I think I think it's a hard sell elsewhere. Like the Routemaster, I think that was another one that was a hard sell elsewhere, and I think that's why it's not come out anywhere else, because it's just for here. So yeah, I'm tempted, but much I'm going at the moment. Right, okay. Well, but then it turned out to be full of problems during the builds. So just like the real, yeah, yeah, yeah. The Morris Miners that got the same rep, haven't they? Really. I like the part where Moe survives better than the original. Yeah, yeah. You know, I remember when they first did the Routemaster, and I got quite a lot of information from it. So I remember at the time they said they weren't too sure whether it's going to be the Routemaster or a London Taxi, a black cab, in 1/8 scale. And I remember at the time everyone was like, "Ooh, I would have liked a black cab." Maybe we will see that. I don't know, but those sort of things, I think they tend to go for bigger projects because they have a more of a reach. You know, things like the Terminator Alien, stuff like that. They could sell anywhere, really, couldn't they? And that's the sort of ones they want. But in terms of vehicle builds, we're always going to get those European, American muscle car ones. But I don't think we're going. It's a shame, but I don't think we're going to get the English cars that I think we really want, which are like, you know, the Cosworths, you know, GTIs, you know, those sort of things that we would like as a part of a builder. But I don't think we're going to get them, which is a shame. I'd build a tube train. Yeah, I think a lot of people would. For me, no, it would have to be the Pacific. Once again, it'd come down to space. How big would it be? Where would I put it as well? I'm rapidly running out of space for part works. So yeah, I do really have to start finishing ones that I've got now. I really can't do anymore. So yeah, I do think the Routemaster Black Cab or Mini would sell elsewhere. They are global icons. They are, yes. I know at least 50 people locally would buy them. Yeah, I know the Routemaster was sold in Africa, and apparently it done very well there. But yeah, those sort of things, the Mini, the Black Cab, the Routemaster, they've got global reach. But once again, I don't think it's as big, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, it is there, but I would imagine it's not a big seller. You have the DB5 and the E-Type. Yeah, once again, though, they are the sports car ones. But when you look at the European end, you've got things like the Lada and the ex-Soviet cars and Volvo and Citroen. They're everyday cars. I don't think a DB5 or a Type E are everyday cars. They are English, but once again, I think they sold them worldwide. What we would like, as we've mentioned before, bye Chris, thanks for coming. Like I said, I mentioned before, I think we would like, you know, a Sierra Cosworth or an Escort RS or something like that from the 80s, because they would sell and I'd buy one. I said I wouldn't do a car again. They keep sucking me back in. Look, I am going now. Make sure you go and check out Dan Universe. He's going to be live in literally about 2 minutes. Go over and check his channel out. It's fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for coming and chatting. As always, once again, I will be back here next week with some more discussions and obviously some more chat. It's been an absolute pleasure. You've all been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming along. I've been Kev. You've been watching the Nexus, and we'll see you at the next video.